I am high as shit. Alright, story time. Okay. When I arrived in the woods in February and March, I was buying food. Then I ran out of money. Luckily, because of the pandemic, the association Emmaus, who takes care of us, was bringing food to the woods. And so I just had to walk like 30 minutes and I would get enough food for the day. Well, with the déconfinement, the end of the lockdown, um, they're no longer doing that. So you have to go to one of the restaurants in the city that prepare a meal for you. That give you like a takeout bag, um, or one of the establishments, whatever. Well, I don't have a bike, and I just got the dog, and it's because I don't have a bike. That's about the closest one is about an hour and a half, 2 hour, no, about an hour and a half journey, one way. So a 3 hour journey to and back, um, and it's Neo isn't socialized well enough to be around that many people, in dogs and in that setting yet. We're not there yet, and so that's really difficult. So I wasn't sure what to do. Well, I live right next to a restaurant. So I go to the restaurant owner and I say, hey, I explain my situation and I ask, uh, would it be possible? Oh my God, only 2 minutes have passed. I thought I was like at 8 minutes. Holy shit. And I asked the restaurant owner, would it be possible if you could put some of the rather than throwing away all the leftovers, um, or whatever food you're gonna throw away, rather than throwing away all of it, can you put some of it aside for me, just a little bit each day? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, and by the way, I would be happy to, if I can help out. I have a dog. If I, be a guardian, something like that. Blah, blah. And she says, yeah, okay. To the food thing, and she says just talk to the cook. So anyway, so I go by, like the next day, and the cooks whom I had met in the past just by hanging out around the restaurant, they say he brings out this hot plate of food, and they give me a beer. I'm sitting in the back of the restaurant, I mean outside, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. Cause yeah, okay. The next day I go, they say, come on, sit on the terrace, with where all the customers are. Bring me a hot plate. Bring me water. Bring it to my table. Not even just, yeah, here it is. What? I'm feeling bad. I keep meeting my waiter halfway when he brings the water. I keep, he go, and the cook says, sit down. I'm like wanting to wait and all this stuff. And I thought, well, I don't know how this can last, but it's amazing. Um, then then a buddy of mine who works there, he said, hey, by the way, don't go sit on the terrace. Don't do that. And I go, oh, what? And he goes, yeah, somebody said something. And I'm like, oh man, I wish they had said something to me. I didn't even want to be sitting out there. I was happy to be sitting in the back. Um, One time I even asked the cook, do you want me to eat this at home? Or he says, I don't mind if you eat this here. And I was like, I'll just eat this at home. He goes, okay. And I went and ate it at home. So anyway, so this guy, he tells me, Julian, he tells me, yeah, you can't, yeah, don't eat there. And I was like, I wish they had said something, because the only way this is gonna work is if we communicate. I wish they had said something to me. He goes, well, you're the one who just went over there and sat down. I was like, no, not at all, not at all. And he goes, oh, okay, well, I guess, oh, okay, well, if he told you that, then oh, okay, okay. But the guy who he said something. His name is Sada. And that guy, I saw him today, and I said, hey, it wasn't my idea to sit on the terrace. He goes, You just think it's normal to just show up here, sit down, we make food for you. You think that's cool? I mean, you think that's logical? Like, you can't do that. People, you don't do that. I mean, I told the owner she's too nice. You don't do that. You don't even offer anything. You don't offer to do anything for us. You just come, you ask for food, you eat it. Okay, bye. So I kept trying to explain to him. I kept trying to interrupt, and he kept going, ugh, oh, whatever. Like, the moment I would open my mouth, he didn't want to hear a fucking word. It was that people are so fucking crazy, all of you. Oh my god. How do you just have an opinion? It's just like, oh my god, unbelievable. So I told him that I had made the offer to the owner. He said she just works on the computer. She doesn't, do anything. But you didn't offer to us. And it's so funny because my mom suggested that last night. And I thought that was the craziest thing. Hold on. The cook can just bring his homeless friend to help him out in the kitchen or cleaning dishes? What? How does that not violate all health codes? Oh yeah, he you pay me. I give him some of the restaurant's food. And he helps me with my... What? My mouth is so dry. What? No, that doesn't make any sense. That's like, objectively, clearly doesn't make any sense, right? Okay, but mom suggested it, and I laughed at the idea, and she said, yeah, that didn't make any sense. She agreed that didn't make any sense, but apparently she's not the only one with that idea. And during a pandemic, no less? During a pandemic, and another really difficult thing is, whenever I would finish my dishes, I wouldn't just leave it on the table, of course. I would take it, but I didn't want to go into the kitchen or into the dish room to put it back. I didn't want to just go back there because I thought, you can't do that. So I would just bring it as close, and then there would be like a counter there, and I would say, hey, should I leave it here? Does this not happen to you people? I know it does, right? It does happen to you, it has to. But why is it just all the time? So I mean, obviously some of them could have thought, wow, he won't even put his dishes all the way in the dish room. Well, a couple times I was like, he was like, oh yeah, you can just put it here in the dish room. You point in the dish room, and so I went and I put it in. But the thing is, that just seems so crazy to me that I'd be allowed to just have my, what am I trying to say? My, you know what I'm trying to say? Wherewithal, no, my free run of the restaurant. That can't be, right? So I never knew, okay, maybe just this person's saying it's okay, but I know that one day there's gonna be someone who's gonna be like, what? You can't just let this man go back there. He doesn't have access to a shower. And so every time, so that's why I would ask every time, because I didn't know who's okay with this. Because, this is how I eat, so I didn't want to mess it up. Fuck the smoke. And so he says, you didn't offer to help or anything. And I'm trying to tell him I offered to Juliet. He says, yeah, but you didn't offer the cooks. And I thought we were sort of getting along. I mean, I thought we were coming to an understanding. But then I was really just my hands were shaking. I was starting to get angry. So, after all that, I come back to my tent and just like, oh, fuck me. I'm supposed to go back there at 6. Should be in like 45 minutes. What? He's the one who gave me the beer, by the way. The first meal. Um, so, um, so I come back here and I'm just like, holy shit. I don't want drama. And so I needed a cigarette, and there's some guys setting out some logs over there. So I went over and I asked, and he gave me one, and we started chatting. And God sent him a Hafid. God sent him to tell me people are people. Again, I need to be reminded of this. People are people. And he said, just don't interact with that guy. Just keep smiling and being nice to everybody else, and don't interact with that guy. And he believes me that I wasn't. Let's take a nap.